I hope everyone had a nice weekend. We finally had some nice spring weather. I hope you had a chance to go out and enjoy it. For all you Star Wars fans, may the 4th be with you. We left off, and this is the things that we learned in Chapter 6. We learned a little bit more about humpback whales. We learned that they migrate in the winter to warmer waters. Some birds migrate too. They fly south for the winter. When the whales get to the warmer waters, they do 3 things. They mate and they have their babies. And when it's spring again, they swim back north with the young whales. And they only swim 3 miles per hour, but they travel 3,000 miles in a month. Another thing that we learned about whales, and this is a vocabulary word, is they have blubber. They eat a lot in the winter, and that food becomes a layer of fat to help keep them warm. And they live off that blubber while they're migrating. We also learned that Carlos and Arnold got rescued, and now Keisha and Ralphie are going to be rescued next. Are you ready to hear what happens? Chapter 7. We're also going to learn about whale sounds. Keisha and Ralphie had drifted close to a giant log. "What's that giant log doing in the middle of the ocean?" Keisha asked. Suddenly, the log turned over. It was now tilted in the water, tail overhead. "That's no log," Keisha said. "It's a huge humpback." Then a string of loud moans, squeals, and groans started to come from the direction of the whale. The sounds were so loud that the water around the sub started to vibrate. That's what happens when you hear things in your ear. You hear the vibrations. "Why is that whale yelling at us?" Ralphie asked, putting his hands over his ears. "I don't think it likes having us around." "These sounds are spooky, but they're kind of pretty too," Keisha said. "It's almost like music." The sounds went on for a few minutes, then stopped, then started again. "It's repeating the song," Keisha exclaimed. Here's a page from Captain Gill's Whale Watcher's Handbook. Whales make a lot of different sounds. They sneeze, blow, whistle, and sigh. They squeak, bleat, moan, bark, and squeal. Toothed whales, such as dolphins, make clicking noises that act as sonar to help them find their way around in the dark. They use echolocation, just like bats. Other kinds of whales sing, but the humpback whale makes the most complicated and haunting sounds of all. No one knows why whales sing. Some experts think it's a special way for them to find their mates. "Okay, Keisha, try not to flip her out," Ralphie joked. Just then, Miss Frizzle arrived in the bus sub. Keisha and Ralphie joined the others in the cabin. "The humpback song is enchanting," Miss Frizzle said, after pausing to take in the sounds. "But we'd best be on our way. There are 2 more whale subs out there waiting to be rescued." While the other whale subs were being rescued, Tim and I were floating along in the middle of a school of tuna. "I wish I knew where we were," I said, worried. "Miss Frizzle's got it under control," Tim said, but he was a little concerned too. "Those fish are staring at us," I said. "It feels creepy, like being in a goldfish bowl." "It's weird that they're looking at us," Tim agreed. "At least we can get out sooner or later. A goldfish has to stay in the bowl all its life." "We hope we'll get out," I said. I was trying to stay cool, but it was hard just to sit and watch the fish watch us. We kept trying the radio, but it was completely dead. We were still stranded. In Whale 3, D.A. was checking to see if she had brought along her textbook on radio communication. "It's no use. I still can't get the frizz on the radio," she said. Even though they were worried, Phoebe couldn't help having fun watching a humpback mother and her baby. Phoebe and D.A. had named them Maisie and Freckles. Oh, Freckles is so playful, Phoebe said. Look how she keeps tossing that bunch of seaweed with her head. The seaweed landed on the calf's snout. D.A. and Phoebe laughed. Freckles seems to like her seaweed mustache, D.A. said. There's a picture of the whale with her baby and the mini sub watching. I'm thinking it must be spring because they're up in the north waters near us and the baby is with them. Big babies by Phoebe. We're going to learn a little bit about the big babies. A newborn humpback is about 14 feet long, about as long as your car. Whale mothers are called cows, and their babies are called calves. A whole cow has one calf at a time. A calf drinks about 100 pounds of its mother's milk each day. A calf and a cow stay together for about a year and sometimes even longer. While in the warm waters of their breeding grounds, the humpback whale calf feeds on its mother's milk. But the adult whale doesn't eat anything. It still is living off all the blubber that it had stored. Remember, blubber is a layer of fat. Freckles did not swim far from Maisie. Every now and then she would dive under her mother and take a drink of milk. The two whales swam up to the surface to breathe and then dove back down with Freckles on Maisie's back. When Maisie swam upward, Freckles slid down her tail. They played this sliding game over and over. The humpback swam away quickly when they heard a noise coming closer. "It's the bus sub," called D.A. "Miss Frizzle to the rescue. I knew she'd find us." "I can't wait to tell her about Freckles," said Phoebe. Captain Gill greeted Phoebe and D.A. with open arms and a big smile. "Welcome aboard, you brave little skippers," he said. "We weren't afraid, Captain Gill. Not much, anyhow," D.A. said, patting Liz on the head. D.A. told everyone about watching the calf and its mother. "One thing I don't understand, though. How can a whale not drown if it's born under the water?" "Good question, matey," said the captain. "Nature thinks of everything. For one thing, the birth takes place near the surface or the top of the water. Also, the baby comes out of its mother's body tail first, not head first like humans. As soon as the baby is born, its mother pushes it up to the surface for its first breath of air. The calf is born knowing not to breathe until its blowhole is out of the water. We call that instinct," Miss Frizzle said. "Instinct is something you know without being taught." D.A. laughed. "Tim is always saying I have an instinct for science," she said. Then she looked around. "Where are Tim and Wanda anyway?" "We're on our way to pick them up now. They're right there," Miss Frizzle said, pointing toward the sonar screen. "Ooh, that's funny," she said. "I don't think she means ha-ha funny," said Arnold. Whale 4 had disappeared from the sonar screen, she told us. "Ooh, I hope tomorrow they find him. We'll see what happens next. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye."